Hello everyone, Tracy Luciani Price from Price Team Mortgages. I had to go home because for some reason it was not working at work, so I'm in the comfort of my living room and just wanted to give you some ways to improve your credit. So the FICO score, best score you can get is called the Unicorn. It's 900. And we have seen some 900 scores. That's not the average score for a majority of Canadians. But it's very easy to achieve a high score if you follow some of these tips that I'm going to give you this evening. So number one, the way to improve your credit score very quickly is not to max out credit. If you max out credit, it is very, very bad and your credit score will go down. And lo and behold, if you go over your limit, and a lot of times that happens and clients don't even know, even $100 or $200 or $150 will drastically cause your score to drop. So sometimes by as much as 50 points. So really watch your balances. And if they are high, make sure that you stop using that card and pay it down every month. People think that just because they have a limit of $3,000 that they have $3,000 to spend. Well, nothing could be farther from the truth. You want to spend maximum, 50% of your balances. So if your balance is $2,000 and you find that you're pretty much maxing it out, if you want to improve your credit score, call your creditor and get them to increase the limit. And if you get the increase in limit to $4,000, then you're only using 50% of the utilization. Your credit score will go up. The other most important thing is always pay your bills on time. And a lot of times people don't realize that even though the date is, let's say, the 29th, and they pay it from their bank on the 29th, it doesn't hit the creditor until sometimes 4 to 5 days later. And all of a sudden you have what is considered a late payment. So really, really watch that you're making your payments. What I suggest clients do is actually make it a week before your due date and pay on the due date. Another thing that people really should watch is making sure that they have no collections. This is one that a lot of people get caught in. They had a Rogers bill that they didn't pay from years ago. It is now a collection. It means that the creditor has sent this to be collected. It's really horrible the way creditors treat people in Canada. They just basically mar your credit and you have no choice but to pay it. We have some people that say, I'm not paying it on principle. There is no principle when it comes to credit. You have to pay all of your bills and fight later. If you believe that a collection has been put against you and it's not your fault for whatever reason, what you need to do is pay it and then take it to small claims court to get it erased. Don't hold out and not pay a creditor, and you'll find that on your credit bureau, and it actually follows you for 7 years. So what you really need, this is the big thing that people need to know, is you really need, it's called 2 and 2. You need to have a credit card with a $2,000 limit. Pay it on time, don't max it out, your credit score will go up. And the other thing is to have a line of credit or a car payment or a loan at least of $2,000 and that you've paid it faithfully for 2 years. So these are the things that you are needed to do in order to get a high credit score. It is really important, even if you've had bad credit. People shy away from credit, but that's the worst thing you can do. What you need to do is reestablish good credit if you have had bad credit. Always pay off bad credit. If it's gone through credit bureau creditors and it's been passed on from creditor to creditor, you can usually make a deal with these people, these creditors. You don't need to hide. They will usually take, if it's gone through 3 or 4 different credit agencies, you will be able to pay 50% of the balance owing. What you do is call them, say, I have the money now, and make a deal with them. If you have difficulty, find someone who likes to make deals that you know of. You can ask them to be your agent and make a deal with them to pay them 50% of what's owed. What you want to make sure is you get a full and final release. Now, a lot of people don't realize that sometimes what happens is they pay a partial amount of the bill and it still stays on their credit. So the best thing, you don't want to have these issues. Pay your bills on time. You only need a credit score of usually at least 680 in Canada. What you're seeing on Credit Karma is not your actual FICO score. So some people are kind of surprised to find out that their score might be lower than what they are seeing on Credit Karma. That's because the lenders are looking at all types of risk. Not only that you pay your bills on time, the level of your indebtedness, how you pay, and even what kind of facilities you're using. For instance, a credit card that is from RBC or a major bank is better than a credit card from Walmart, for instance, or a loan from for your car from Hyundai or Honda is better than these third-rate companies that offer 18% interest. But the most important thing is if you have debt, pay it off. If you have a credit score and you make sure that you are paying your bills on time, you don't max out your credit, you need 2 and 2, and the credit is only a part of the whole system of buying a house in Canada. One segment, but a very, very important segment. Now, I'll just put a final word. If you don't have good credit and you know you have bad credit, if you have a large down payment, what I'm talking about is 20% or more, we can always get people into houses that way. So don't shy away from a house just because you've had issues. We have helped many people, many people get over the hump, come back from the dead, and these people are now sitting pretty in their living rooms like I am now. So that's all for tonight. I know it was a lot of information. Credit is such a big subject. It's unfortunate that you have to prove your indebtedness in order to get a mortgage in Canada, but that's the way it works here. So get a mitt, get in the game. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.